Online.
Hi, so we may have our seats. Welcome to the Centonomy Open Day. I hope your Saturday has started fantastic. It's a good one. Yes, now at least you look brighter. I know money is a serious business, but it's never that serious, guys. You can relax, you can loosen yourself. Just to give you a quick geography of the place. How many of you have been here before for those funeral meetings? Anybody? A couple of guys, never before? Ama, you've come here on other business. In case you've been here before, the washrooms are not where you think they are. See Nyuma. Now I've gotten your attention, huh? They are on my left, which is your right. When you walk out, your immediate left as you're headed towards the stairs. Because I know sometimes when we're talking about money, it is your body that reacts, not the mind. So in case your body reacts, I've given you a solution. Kimbia there, the first is the gents, and the second one is the ladies over there. Sawa sawa? Also, I've got some goodies. I've personally read this book. It's a fantastic book. It's by Washeken Dwati. She's the founder of Centonomy. And so I'll be giving out this book. But for purposes of gender equality, Centonomy, one has to go to a lady and one to a gentleman. And I'll be letting you know how we'll be doing that. Let me just test and see how well your mind has woken up this morning. I'm going to ask you, I'm calling this a Centonomy trivia moment. So I'll ask you a question. It's not that serious. You don't have to come in front and answer it. You can just shout out the answer for me. Sawa sawa? Which animal can predict earthquakes? I've heard elephant. Of course, a woman had to say snake. Ati? Turtle? Goldfish? Guess what? The woman was right. It's a snake. Let's try out a second one. Astronauts grow taller in space. True or false? I have a true there. False going once. We're still on false. It is actually true. So apparently, when they go in space, because of lack of gravity, their spine stretches out. So if you've always desired to be taller, go to space. People are more creative in the shower. True or false? Ni kama inspiration imetoka kwa shower, eh? I know, even me, that's where ideas come up in the shower for some reason. Another question. Giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. True or false? Yeah, I can see you love giraffes, eh? You're like, haiwezi gongwa na lightning, hapana. True or false? We're sticking to false. It is actually true. Giraffes have a higher chance of getting hit by lightning. And all short people say hallelujah. Anyway, once again, welcome to the Centonomy Open Day. We're going to have an amazing morning. Yes, we're talking about money, but it's going to be exciting and it's going to be fun. Also, something for you to note. How many of you are on X? Anybody on X? And you're active as well? Even if you're not, it's okay. You have an X account? Anybody on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, put up your hand. Of course, you're all on Instagram. Tukiingia threads, that's where we draw the line, huh? Tuko hapana siko threads. So, if you are on X or on Instagram, I'll encourage you. There's a partial scholarship for you. Hey, oh, you think as if I'm lying? I'm telling you the truth, by the way. There's a partial scholarship for you. Just one catch. Just a very simple catch. The person who's most active on their Insta stories about today and the person most active on X is going to get a scholarship in coming into Centonomy. Isn't that? Sima coffee at Centonomy. So in case you are coming here and wondering, in January, nitaingia aje Centonomy? Hiyo ndo solution number 1. Solution number 2. There is a discount on the registration fee if you register today. So usually, the registration fee is about 1,500 bob. So what guys of Centonomy have decided is toa ile 500 bob to bakishi nini 1,000. So if you register today, it is only 1,000 bob. And for those of us who are joining us online, it is $5 today only. So while you're hearing what people are saying, have that at the back of your mind that you can register. How many are committing right now to register? I know hatujaanza, but I mean, kuna discount. Si tunapenanga discount. Wakenya tukiona discount tunakimbianga. But anyway, there's a lot more that you're going to be learning today. Have an open mind, have an open heart. Listen to the stories people are going to be coming to share here today. I can assure you it is going to tremendously change your life. I'll be telling you how you can get a chance to walk away with these books a bit later on. But situanze, eh? See, we get started, because I know you came to hear about money. You didn't come to hear my stories, though you'll hear them at one point. But you came to hear about money. And so the first person who I'm inviting here today, when I met her earlier on, I was seeing how her name was spelled. And then I was wondering, I was like, hey, hii jina, imeandikwa aje? It's spelled with a double O, but it's still pronounced as Monica. So in case you ever see her name or a name that sounds like her, it's not Monica, it is Monica. And so she's called Monica Jugenfeld, and she's the commercial director at Equity Group. A round of applause for her as she comes.
A little bit taller than this. Thank you. Welcome all the beautiful people here. Isn't that a better time than Saturday morning to speak about money? Actually, you can speak about money anytime, any day, right? So, I hope I'm well audible. I would like to start by telling you a brief about myself and why am I here? Well, other than I was being invited, but what gives me the right to speak about the money? Sorry guys, I have restless legs, so I walk a lot, so I hope you still hear me well. That's all right, I'll manage, that's fine, thank you. Actually, before I get to introducing myself, my first lesson is you should be very, very selective from who you take financial advice from. How many of you have listened to your neighbors in the village, neighbors in the town, taking advice from them, and they end up burning your fingers, right? So be very selective. My advice is always take consultations, take advice from people who already made it in life. People who already are rich, not just dreaming or in the journey of becoming rich. Why am I here? To be very honest, I think since quite an early age, I've always been very fascinated. I don't want to say obsessed, just fascinated by understanding how money moves. Not about becoming rich or wealthy, just understanding how money moves. And obviously, I've worked in the financial sector, both in developed markets, in emerging markets, across Africa for the longest time. So that has been a platform that I've gotten that first-hand exposure to be around money. Today, I'm not going to speak about budgeting and financial stability. If you feel that you're still in a journey where you're seeking for financial stability, please take everything I say with a pinch of salt, as these things might not apply to you just as yet. But as you're preparing for your journey of becoming wealthy, some of the pointers you might want to remember. So let's start by understanding what's the difference between being that comfortable middle class, just for ease, let's call them the rich people, and being a wealthy people, a person. What's the difference between being rich and wealthy? Any suggestions, guys? Anyone wants to shout? What's the difference? Okay, let me tell you. I'm sure that we have quite many rich people here today. So who are the rich ones? You most likely drive a Mercedes, maybe C-Class. Not the 2024 one, a little bit older. You most likely live in a townhouse, in a nice neighborhood. Most likely it's a mortgage. Your kids go to private school. In a grand scale of things, you made it in life, right? Well done. Now, what about wealthy people? Wealthy people, I would be surprised if we had many of them with us today. They're very peculiar about their time. The biggest difference between rich and wealthy is the concept of time. Well, okay, so what made that shift for me? My first lesson, I was actually pretty young at that age. I was probably 6, 7, if I recall it correctly, maybe 8. My mom had bought me a piggy bank. You know, one of those pink piggy banks where you put the pennies inside? My father took it away from me. My mom and dad have very in life, you need to earn more. You can't save everything. You can't save your way into becoming rich or becoming wealthy in extension. To become unstoppable in your personal life and also in your financial life, you need to figure out how to earn more. So, my lesson number 2, that was when I was a little bit older. When I was in my early 20s, I can just see we have quite many early 20s in the crowd with us. I was lucky enough, well, not lucky, I worked really, really hard. I became quite successful in my career at early on. I was not working in a country where my family lived. So my mom was calling me literally every other week, Monica, why are you spending so much money on rent? Take a mortgage, buy an apartment. You're earning enough money, stop spending money on rent. How many of you can relate to that? That money towards rent is a waste, right? Yeah, that's where I was. And I listened to my mother. Because once again, her thinking was that back in the day, I think I was spending 600 euros a month for my rent, and I was, if I take a mortgage on a 1-bedroom apartment, I think I would have paid like